chatting with Amar Ambani, the head of research at IIFL, and he joins in ahead of their management roadshow. Hi Amar, good morning. The companies that are participating in your roadshow are from various sectors. So you've got a Suzlon, you've got some, NBFCs like Shriram City Union, Canfin Home Finance. You've got some cement companies like Star Ferro and Cements. What's the reason for selecting these individual companies, as well as what's your general view on the, mid-cap space? Which sectors are likely to do well?
So we've picked these companies, one based on some requests that we've got from fund houses and our HNI clients, and some others where we feel that there could be a story building. That's how we've picked the 10 companies. Like you rightly said, it's from across sectors, and there is a lot of stock-specific interest currently that we are seeing from all our investors. If you notice, even while FIs have been selling, you have this time the domestic investors, the mutual funds that are buyers in this market. And I think that is the right way to play this market. Be very stock specific. Now is not the time to really play the India story. I think it played out in the last year after the thumping victory that the BJP had. But now that people understand that things take a long time to really turn around and it can't happen overnight, I think the markets have knocked off 700,000 points on the Nifty from the high that we saw. So I think the approach has to be bottom up. Maybe the next 6 months or 1 year in terms of Nifty or Sensex levels may not be great for the market. You could possibly see the levels which we are seeing currently, or maybe a 2-5% upside or downside.
Okay.
But I think if you keep accumulating the right stocks which are either available dirt cheap, or where you see that there is a niche story building, or the business visibility is very clear, in that case I think you're bound to make money in 1 or 2 years time.
Okay.
And that is the basis of these companies that we've picked up.
Okay. Well, Amar, we actually wanted to know more what you learnt from the companies you met. For instance, KEI, does it give a sense that capital goods as a space and their own demand is intact?
Well, so they are seeing demand return. So they've got orders from Power Grid, and within that space, it's actually the D&D space which has started. That the attention of the government is there and orders are flowing in there. So, their segment is witnessing an order inflow, but I think it will be premature to say that that applies to the entire space or the entire capital goods sector. You clearly have the BHELs and some of the other companies who are struggling in that area because there's not going to be too much of generation coming up. But in the T&D space, yes. So the sense that we get from KEI is that they're seeing orders flowing in, a lot of interest, inquiries, and they are getting orders from the likes of Power Grid.
Okay. Amar, you split the list by saying that some of the companies are participating in the roadshow because you've received interest from various institutions to cover them, and the others are because the story is building. So in which of these 10 mid-cap companies do you see a turnaround? Where is the story building? In which companies?
So I think, for example, Tourism Finance is one company where there could be a story building. This company has consciously gone slow in the last 2 or 3 years, so that they don't just loan and have a pile of bad assets in a few years to come. So they've consciously gone slow there, and now I think they're opening up. They've also got a bit of funding there, and I think this is one space where we could see a lot of demand, because while the 5-star hotel space and all is pretty crowded, and I don't know what kind of investments will come there, there's also some bad assets there. But when it comes to tourism finance, they lend to typically these banquets, restaurants, 2 and 3 stars. And I think across the country, in pockets, there is demand for this. So when you get a stock like this, which is trading at less than 1 time the book value, there could be a story building, and which is why a lot of interest in this company. Canfin Homes is another company where the company is already growing at about 40% or so, has no bad assets really to speak about, and I think can continue to grow at this rate. So there's a lot of interest in that company as well. The government has been focusing on the Northeast, and therefore we have a couple of representations from there. Skipper is one of them, and the other one is, of course, Star Ferro, because while cement overall is pretty weak, In the northeast, you typically see prices higher than the rest of the country, and at the same time, we are seeing a 25% growth possibility in the northeast with the kind of initiatives of the government. And Star Ferro has a 23% market share there.
Okay.
So with no new capacities coming up, it can be a big, earnings booster for Star Ferro in the year or two to come.
Okay, from this list or outside this list, what would be your top 2 mid-cap picks now?
So, well, I wouldn't want to, say what are our top picks, but I think in terms of mid-cap from the companies that are attending here, like I said, there's a lot of interest in Canfin, a lot of interest in Suzlon.
Okay.
I think people see a story building there, so I think Suzlon is a stock that you can possibly keep your eye on.
All right, Amar, we'll look forward to your key takeaways from these companies after your roadshow. Thank you very much for joining us.